Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. Our topic today, as we've been going out of the 10 Bowls of Zen, today the topic's a bit about Aldous Huxley. And I have to admit, I don't know too much about Aldous Huxley. I did read A Brave New World. I revisited it. I didn't reread the entire book, but I revisited a few pieces of it here and there. It's certainly interesting. And as I was doing some research about Aldous Huxley for this talk, came across the name of a book called The Perennial Philosophy. And I think that's quite interesting. Today's topic is really about not really how mindfulness came into the West, but just a little bit about Aldous Huxley and what his views were, and just a little bit about a few lessons perhaps from what Aldous Huxley has written. And I have to say that what this research has done more than anything for me has made me more curious about Mr. Huxley and his work. I think The Perennial Philosophy sounds like an interesting book. Granted, it was written quite a while ago, like in I think the 1940s. So, perhaps as we've done a lot of discovery since the 1940s. So maybe some of what he's written about has become obsolete, but I do think it's interesting to note. I think the one thing that really brought it to my attention more than anything is this idea that I talk about, that the commonality between all religions, and with Huxley the theory that there is perhaps one natural religion that actually goes underneath all of the other religions, that all the other religions come from, that these commonalities are not coincidental, that there's a reason, and that maybe they're buried in the human psyche or something like that. And like, as I said, I haven't had enough time to read through the Perennial Philosophy and understand about it, but I think what it has done though is excuse me, bring into light for Westerners like us, if you happen to be a Westerner, is some of the ideas of Eastern philosophy. I guess I don't necessarily want to use the word religion either, and because Eastern religion has a lot of things that are different. Monotheistic religions versus polytheistic religions. And really the difference between, I think, exclusivity of monotheism versus a more inclusive kind of feeling in polytheistic religions. And I think, I've been living in Asia for 17 years and have been exposed to different ways of looking at things, including religion. And I think that it is interesting that not only religion but culturally, the difference in that, and really I think a lot of the culture. I was born and grew up in the United States. I feel like a lot of American culture does come out of puritanical Christianity. And it's really interesting to see these links between culture and religion, and the way that our worldview is formed. And I think there was a lot to learn in that Huxley and Alan Watts. Alan Watts was also mentioned a lot as I was reading, and their role in kind of starting to popularize, making it more known what's over here. I almost said over there. What's over here? Singapore is really interesting because of its very diverse kind of multicultural melting pot. And I feel like, I think melting pot is used a lot to describe the United States, but I feel it even, significantly more so here, because at least here, a melting pot kind of signifies a kind of union between different cultures and religions. And I think at least now in the United States, things feel a lot more divisive. That there are a bunch of different, solid metals that are living together, and not so much melting together anymore. And so it is refreshing to be in a place like this and to see that, and to kind of wonder, what is it possible? And I think a lot of this is coming out as well of this idea of the threefold vow of Buddhadasa that I first heard when I went on my first meditation retreat, was that what's the threefold vow is well, let's just talk about parts 1 and 2, that each religion understand the core of their understanding, and the core of the core values that they're founded upon, and really look into that and to understand that, and to foster understanding among each other, so that instead of having this exclusivity that I am a this and she is a that we end up seeing our commonalities instead of what makes us different. And I think that's something that I've tried to talk about a lot as we do loving kindness meditation, and we do other forms of reminding ourselves the common humanity that we share with every other human being that walks this earth with us. So that's really part 1. Part 2 of what is being understood from Huxley, besides this natural religion, as he called it, as he coined it, is also the you see it in the Brave New World, is that people in this fictional story are placated with all kinds of comforts. That there's a drug that people take that help to keep them sedated and feeling happy, but not really very productive in society, let's say. Certainly not encouraging free thinking or thinking outside of where they are. And I think this is another thing that Huxley kind of talked about is and how it relates to our mindfulness practice as well. Is comfort the end? Is this the end goal? Am I amassing wealth so that I can have a more comfortable bed, so that I can have a nicer car to go from point A to point B? Am I wanting to buy more spa treatments? Am I wanting to just make my life, and this is why I work, or is this why I work? Am I working simply to create more comfort in my life? And Huxley's challenge was that comfort is not the ultimate end, that it is simply a means to an end, that there is there should be more meaning in life than simply trying to get comfort. And as well, as we've learned in meditation practice as well, is that the more that we chase these comfortable things, the more comfort is required to make us feel happy and satisfied. So knowing that, and this concept is hedonic adaptation. The more we get, the more we need to begin to feel that same kind of satisfaction over time, so that our bodies, our minds adapt to the way things are around us, so that we get used to it. So the ultimate goal of life, if you have the ultimate goal of your life is to be more comfortable and live a comfortable life, this is not going to be something that eliminates the suffering that you have. What it may do is just make clearer, the things that are unsatisfying about your life, because our minds always compare, right? There's always somebody who's better, or somebody who's smarter, or somebody who's richer. We don't have an objective baseline. We're constantly looking for somewhere else to seek satisfaction. Like, oh, this is never good enough. And this is part of the human condition, right? That evolution has caused us to be this way for a reason, that we're always seeking to find something that is better and safer, so that we can survive, and then we can advertise outwards, when it comes to finding a mate, for example, that my life is comfortable. Come join me in my comfortable life, and I'll make your life comfortable too. It's natural for us to want these things, but this is part of the craving. And I think, interestingly, I'll share one more thing about Buddhadasa, is that this is very interestingly part of the teachings at the Buddhadasa retreats, is lack of material comfort. And part of chanting, I remember it's sayings like not wanting to sleep on comfortable beds and things like that. And in those retreats, you're given a straw mat and a wooden pillow. I'm granted, I used some of my own creature comforts to make that a bit easier so that I could sleep well. But this kind of idea that comfort can be a hindrance to our meditation practice. So anyway, this is, I'd say this is kind of the end of, I've really kind of gone pretty far out on these last few weeks, talking about 10 Bulls and talking about, now, Huxley, and so we're going to get back to more practical meditation techniques in the future. But I don't know. I thought this was just kind of fun to chat about and to go through. So let's get into our meditation practice. Today we'll do, we've been doing so much sitting meditation, I thought let's change it up today and do a little bit of mindful movement. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I hope everybody, I hope it has been kind of enjoyable and interesting to shift gears and do something a little bit different, kind of chat about these things. So let's get into our practice. So get comfortable. If you like, you can allow your eyes to close. Noticing the breath, noticing that I'm breathing. Feeling the physical sensations of breath. Grounding ourselves in the present moment through this vehicle, this avenue of the breath. Feeling the expansion on the inhale, the release on the exhale. Concentrating attention here, calibrating our awareness into the present moment for a few moments here. And now I'd like to invite you to bring your attention to your shoulders. So noticing the shoulders. Noticing the tension or ease you may feel in the shoulders. What's the state of the muscles in the shoulders? How your shoulders are feeling right here, right now, in this moment. And then on the next inhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing the shoulders towards the ears, actively engaging those muscles, continuing to breathe at your own pace. And then squeezing your shoulder blades together behind the back, opening the chest in the front. Dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Stretching out the trapezius muscles. And squeezing the shoulders together in front of the body. Bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, and so now rolling the shoulders backwards slowly at your own pace, keeping your attention fully focused on sensations in the shoulders. And what's happening with the breath? So can you pay a little bit of attention as well as to how you're breathing? If you find your mind wandering at any point, just letting go of whatever thought has come in and bringing the attention fully back to curiously assessing what's going on in the shoulders, maybe even paying attention to breath a little bit. And now, the next time the shoulders come up towards the ears, pausing for a moment. And now rotating the shoulders in the opposite direction. So shoulders together in front of the body, down away from the ears, shoulder blades together behind the back, up towards the ears as we slowly rotate our shoulders forwards. And then the next time the shoulders come towards the ears, pausing there for a moment. And then on your next exhale, relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulders come back to neutral. Pausing and breathing. Noticing how the shoulders feel now. Maybe they feel different from when you first started, or maybe they feel exactly the same. If there was tension, maybe there's ease, or maybe that tension still lingers. Just paying attention to what's going on right now. Welcoming whatever it is you're feeling, because after all, it's already here. Now focusing on the breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. And now as you feel ready, bringing attention up above the shoulders to the neck. And with your breath at its own natural pace, beginning to turn the head to the left. See if you can bring your chin over your left shoulder. Seeing with the shoulders forward, shoulders locked in place, facing forward. How far does my head go? Again, not striving to get anywhere, not striving to exceed any limits, but just exploring. What's it feel like to twist the neck to the left? And with each exhale, as the neck stays here longer, maybe the stretch of the muscles allows the muscles to go even a little bit deeper. So with each exhale, maybe seeing if that chin can go a little bit farther over the left shoulder. See if maybe you can even look towards the back of the room. And then on the next inhale, just come back, bring the shoulders, keep the shoulders where they are, bring the chin back towards the front. Take a breath here, feel the difference between the right side and the left side of the neck. And then when you're ready, bringing the chin over the right shoulder. Again, holding attention here in the neck. Being aware, not exceeding 60%, let's say, of your maximum effort. We don't want to cause injury to the neck by trying too hard. Just examining as we turn our head. Moment by moment, is it possible to continue turning? And then, on your next inhale, coming back. To the left. To the right. To the left, to the right, and back to center, chin to chest, towards the chest, doesn't need to touch. Chin towards the ceiling. Feeling the stretch in the front of the neck. And then back to neutral. Attention back to the breath. So how are you feeling? How is the neck feeling? How's the shoulders feeling? So, congratulations everyone for making it through today's practice. We'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for sharing in this practice today. And how'd it go? What's your practice like? So we'll wrap up today. I'll start looking through the chat and have some we'll have some commentary as well. So just saying, I'm pretty much done with this series of 10 bowls of Zen, and kind of where we've gone with this. I hope you've enjoyed it. Notice that I don't know. I feel like it's been it feels like it hasn't been as enjoyable for some people. I notice it seems like less people are showing up these days. I don't, maybe that's a consequence of something else. But I am planning to get back into regular stuff, as well as I'm traveling to Europe here soon, so my times may not be. I mean, certainly I'll be with my family. I'll be with some family members I haven't seen in a while, so it's going to probably be a little bit even more sporadic. Excuse me. I'll be trying to do the longer meditations as well, at least once a week. So we'll I'll keep you posted. You'll see the live events that I post. So okay, just want to look at the chat here. Jean says, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You know what? Isn't that the theme? Right? Isn't that one of the real themes of our meditation practice, just in general? Get comfortable with what's uncomfortable. Because whether it's physical, and in fact that's it, is that the physical, the mental, the emotional, these things are all linked anyway. If you learn how to deal with uncomfortable physical sensations, it's also going to help you in those times that you're feeling difficult emotional and difficult and uncomfortable emotions as well. So know how to sit with it, because sadness is here, right? Anger is here. I mean, it's as much as we want to often we want to resist those negative emotions. We want to go, yuck, this sucks. I'm so tired of being sad. I want to be something different. And I think that this practice is really learning about that, learning about ourselves, learning about, hey, I know that this is here for a season. This won't be here forever. This is not a permanent state that I'm in right now. And I think that getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is one of the keys to learning how to be happy in life, because things aren't going to be comfortable all the time, and when they are comfortable all the time, then you get used to them being comfortable all the time, and then the comfortable thing becomes uncomfortable. Something that was comfortable yesterday isn't comfortable today, or something that was comfortable a year ago, because I'm so used to my comfort now, it just isn't there anymore. Thanks, Jean. Anna shares, another good day. I just remembered a story from when I was 9, maybe 10. I started singing from a young age in theater. So we were doing a vocal warm-ups, which included us placing our hands on our diaphragm and making a noise like we're laughing, but not really. And me being autistic, I didn't know where the diaphragm was. I just tried doing it, but didn't understand how to do it. It's another story around the same time was fifth and sixth grade. We get pretty noisy and we lie flat on our backs in order to calm down. And so so Anna's again talking about feeling the stomach moving, right? Feeling the belly breathing. And so still noticing the stomach moving, and even when I'm doing something normal. And I think that this is really interesting and quite key for mindfulness practice. And I think learning mindfulness at a young age is really useful. And as we start to as we continue learning how to pay attention, it's something it's a skill that we can continue bringing wherever we are, and this skill continues to build. The more that we practice doing it, the easier it becomes. Jean says, warm and tingling, more relaxed. I became aware I was holding on to tension in my shoulders. Then I realized and brought the intention back to them. Thanks. Thank you, Barbara, for your feedback. Yeah, it does feel like I think part of I mean, how many live events have I done now? I think this is I do sometimes kind of wonder what where to go. So what kind of new topics to bring up. So I guess this is the nice thing. If you're with me, you'll know, and that not 100% of these are I'm like everybody else. I have some on days and I have some off days, but I'm trying to be here and show up for practice. Oh, nice. Thanks for sharing, John. I'd love to if you have any key learnings from your retreat, I'd love to hear those. If you can write them in Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. I'd always love to know what comes out of people who've gone on retreats. And Barbara shares, no matter how many times we cover the 9 attitudes, I learn each and every time. And Jean shares, I like the tangent. So, I mean, this is it, right? So I'm not always trying to find something new to do, but every once in a while, it's fun for me to share kind of where I am too. And so as I grow, as I learn, as I explore something, want to share it with you as well. And again, like one of the Zen teachers I know has always talked about, is that in Zen practice we start at the bottom of the ladder, and then we climb to the top of the ladder, and then we go back down to the bottom of the ladder, and we just keep going up and down over and over again. And so now we're kind of here at the top of the ladder, talking about this philosophy, which may or may not be applicable to what's going on. And so I'm kind of looking forward. In fact, maybe we're up here, and we're kind of beyond the level of normal philosophy. So let's go back down. And so that's what we're going to be doing coming up, going back to more practical stuff. So looking forward to doing that. Oh, Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. Here we go. I'll just write. It's in Insight Timer groups. So if you check it out, and if you're using the Insight Timer app, on the bottom right, there's a little globe icon. You hit this icon, and then you can search for Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. And so I write summaries in there. We have a little bit of sharing. Jean hosts meditations in there for us and days that I'm gone, which probably are a lot these days. You're most welcome. All right. I'm going to go. Nice to see you all. Hope you have a great day or great evening going forward. And see you next time. Next time is Saturday morning, my time. So Saturday morning is the 1 hour meditation. And I think, let's see, what are we doing this time? Oh, as we get ready to go into open awareness, on Saturday, the 1 hour practice, we're going to be exploring multiple points of awareness. So kind of like body scan, but we'll be exploring a little bit more than simply physical sensations. So we will do some physical sensations, but we'll be expanding to other present moment objects of awareness for you to explore. All right, let's send our well wishes. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life throughout the universe, including those who have not yet been born, I wish them all happiness and peace. All right. Thanks for joining. See you next time. Bye-bye.